So for those who don't know, my name's Ben. I'm from the northeast of England. I'm a content creator, streamer. I've done it for about on and off for about 4 years now, you know. So I'd say I'm quite experienced in the content creator scene, you know. Also, sorry if I seem distracted. I have a doggy here. Let me just I'm gonna show you guys. Doggy, hello, baby. He's okay. Yeah, just we're recording. So I used to DJ for about 10 years, and you know, DJing's been fun. It was fun. I got into it because I was like, you know what, this seems like a great thing to do. You know, it seems easy. It wasn't easy in the end. It's very stressful. It's very stressful, you know, and it made me appreciate though the situation I was in, because when I first started DJing, I never wanted to DJ. Right? Never wanted to DJ. I wanted to be a graphics designer. I wanted to design flyers and all that stuff for a living. I became a DJ because someone approached me and went, "Oh, you're very well known in the rock scene in this area. Would you like to host an event for us?" I was like, "All right, what does that mean?" It's like, "Oh, just turn up to the event and just tell all your friends, and then, you know, we'll give you some free drinks." And I thought, well, how old was I? 20. I was like, "Oh, this would be great. This, you know, free drinks just for turning up. Excellent. And all I've got to do is bring my mates. Even better." So I turned up. The bar staff were there, but the people who organised the event weren't there. I was like, "All right. I know, where's the DJ?" They went, "Oh, you're the DJ, right?" I went, "Never DJ before in my life." They went, "Well, you're going to have to learn because the event's about to start and we've got you down as the DJ." So I went to the DJ stand, and there was two. Well, it wasn't like a pair of decks, right? It was 2 CD players and a switch button to go between the 2 songs. And it was it's very different to what I ended up doing in the end, you know. But it was fun. I rang up my nana and I went, "Nana, you know that bag full of CDs that I've got?" She went, "Yeah. It's at the bottom of the stairs, yeah." Because I remember exactly how this went. She went, "Yeah." I was like, "Can you bring it down for us, please? I've got to use them for work." She went, "What do you mean work? I thought you were going out drinking with your friends." I was like, "Yeah, well, about that." So I ended up DJing. I didn't DJ for any money at first. Obviously, the first night, I did the first night, and then I decided, you know what? After this, I want some money. So I started with like, I think after that they decided I was going to get £20 an hour. No, sorry, £20 for the night, plus my drinks. So I was like, right, well, the situation's changed to what I originally agreed to. Sorry, I'm looking. Someone's looking at me here, right? With just like, if looks could kill, like, really. But bear in mind, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You shouldn't be in my room at 4 in the morning. Are you okay, baby? I think he's poorly. He only ever comes up here when he's poorly. Are you going to be fine? Are you going to be sick? That's what I care about. Are you going to be sick? Because if you're sick, I don't want you sick in my room. Now he's looking at my bed. Do you want to go on my bed? Shouldn't you be asleep? I've started recording now, so I can't stop. Anyway. Yeah, so I started doing the DJ nights for 20 quid an hour. Eventually I worked up, and, you know, it took a while to gain some respect, get enough to earn a living. But I did it, yeah, and I ended up DJing for 10 years. And you know what? I don't regret it. Because I learned everything I know now, I've learned from DJing. I learned how to talk to people because I wasn't very confident when it came to talking to people. I was very socially awkward. I still am socially awkward, but I'm less socially awkward. Does that make sense? I learned obviously stuff about music. I learned stuff about sounds. I learned how to host events and how to work with other people. And I don't know. It was a very good life lesson to learn. I also learned that the nightlife scene can be very toxic. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of like people that will backstab you, where they'll talk to you and pretend to be your mate, and then you'll walk off, and then they'll just talk shit about you, And it's utter jealousy, I had someone, and this guy recorded the conversation. I went up to this group, and I know this guy had another event on, and it was doing shit. It was doing like rubbish, and effectively, I went over. I was like, "Hi, how you doing?" Even though mine was on, I'd go in, check how they're doing, just give them, show them my support, because that's the kind of guy I am, I would help and support other people. I would show them support, but this guy recorded the conversation after. So as soon as I left, you'd go like, "Oh, what a tosser," blah blah blah. I can't remember what he said, but like my friend showed me the recording, and I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking surprised. And I still went in. To like show my support. We decided to do like a collaborative thing where I'd promote his night if he promotes mine. So he was like, yeah, it's a great idea. Let's do it. I'll have you like, I'd have his flies in my place, and he'd have his flies in my place. Like would swap flyers. Every time I went in, there was no flyers anywhere, right? And, the agreement was I'd post his stuff on my Facebook event. He never did it on mine. Not once. And I said to him, I was like, what's going on? Why are you not doing it? He's like, oh, I keep forgetting. And like, you're not forgetting it, because I've just been told by someone you're just purposely trying to mug me off. Like, this is why your event's not doing well. Because no one likes you. Yeah, effectively. Yeah, I learned a very valuable lesson then, and the lesson that I learned was basically you can't trust anyone. You can give out a helping hand, right? But sometimes people just don't want the helping hand, even if they're needed. Yeah, and it's not just event managers as well. Like bar owners can be very, very toxic as well. Where there was a few times where I've turned up. I've done the night, and I got to the end of the night. They were like, "Oh, we've got no money to pay yet." I was like, "What do you mean? It's been a full night." It's like, "Oh, well, something's happened with the till or something like that." And I'm like, "You can't tell me you can't just go into that till now, pull out money and give it to me." They were like, "Oh, that's not how it works." It was like, "Well, that's how it should work, because I got promised pay at the end of the night." I was like, "Well, the owner said to give them a message." I'm like, "I'm not leaving until you've paid me. Do you not understand the agree? I've got it in writing. At the end of the night, I will be paid. It's the end of the night. I will be paid." And I've had all sorts of excuses from people going like trying not to pay the DJ, and it's ridiculous, honestly. Because I think a lot of DJs will just bend over and go like, "Okay, fine," and then just don't get paid, And another problem we had was that there was some DJs. They were doing it for fun, which is totally fine. Like you if you want to go to nightclubs and DJ for fun, that's fair. But make sure you get paid fairly, because when people are doing it for like next to nothing, right, that's affecting everyone's wages. Well, I don't know what's the minimum wage now? Minimum wage for a 33-year-old in the UK is £12.21. Right. So bear that in mind. That's minimum wage, right? There was one bar that was turning around and saying that they'll give you, I think, what was it, 40 quid for 6 hours pay. It was 7 in the end. They ended up getting someone for 7 quid. £40 for 7 hours. Who's working for that? I mean, I get some people are desperate, But Jesus Christ, if you want to take that deal, that's fair enough. But there's no accounting for skill, because the person you're going to get in is going to be rubbish. And they were rubbish, and the bar didn't last very long. I remember I walked into the bar, and the guy, you couldn't hear him on the microphone. Like, when I'm talking to the microphone, I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to blah, blah, blah. Hope everyone's enjoying their drinks. This guy was like, and like, you couldn't understand him. But it was weird, because I remember standing next to him, and you know, he was talking to you fine, but as soon as he gets in the microphone, he'll start. It's like he's microphone shy. It was really bizarre to see. But yeah, like, you know, and like I say, people like that probably shouldn't be DJing. Maybe they should be still training to DJ, but not by themselves. I don't know. I'm no longer DJing, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. You know, I know what I was worth, and you know, and I stuck by it. And you know what was great? When people will always try and negotiate your wage down, which is fair. You know, it's just the way the world works. But when it got to the point where I didn't want to DJ anymore, and I was starting to like phase out of that, it was nice, because people were going, "Oh, can you come DJ for this and that?" I was like, "Yeah, but this is my price." I was like, "Oh, well, I can only afford that." I was like, "Well, I won't do it then, because I don't want to." It's like, you can pay that, or I won't do it. Obviously, I'm never going to mention how much I got paid, because first of all, it's none of your business. Second of all, no, it's just privacy, really. You know, someone taught me a very valuable lesson: is you don't talk about how much money you make, and I agree with that. Now, finally, because as soon as people find out you've got money, you know, that's all they want. People just go, "Oh, can you lend us this? Can you lend us that?" Because God forbid I have fallen out with so many people because they've loaned money from me and never paid me back. And I've had so many people that are only friends with me because they think, "Oh, he'll buy me a couple of drinks tonight, yeah." And as soon as I buy them a drink, right, they bugger off. They'll come up to me, they'll say hello, they'll get a drink from me and go. There was this one person in particular. He had like a routine down, and I didn't click on that I had a routine. But I'd be outside in the smoking area. He would come to the smoking area. He would pinch a cigarette off me, and he would know by the time I come back in the smoking area, I'm probably going to get a shot and a drink. So he then followed me, and you know, because he stood next to me, I go, "Oh, do you want a drink?" I'm like, "Yeah." So there was this one time I wasn't drinking on a night out. So I went to the bar and I got I got a water and lime cordial. Yeah. And he went, "Oh, you're not going to buy us a drink?" I went, "Are you fucking kidding me? Excuse me?" He went, "Oh, you always buy us a drink." It's like, "Do you ever buy me a drink?" He went, "Well, no, I can't afford it." It's like, "Well, why do you come out if you can't afford it?" Some people just absolutely baffle me. Honestly, it's my own fault though, because I let that happen. But once again, it's a lesson learned. Don't let people walk all over you, and I don't anymore. If I feel like someone's wronged me in some way, I'll either cut them off completely, or I'll stick up for myself and I'll say something. I don't take bullshit anymore, and it's a shame that it's taken me like it took me up till like a year or two ago to get that mentality. And I've fallen out with a lot of people since then. So many people. And was it worth it? I don't know. But for myself, I've gained more respect for myself because I'm sticking up for myself. Does that make sense? I hope so. I've also learned to listen to my gut as well. If my gut is telling me something's not right, listen to that gut and act on it. You know, I get very paranoid recently with the way people act, but at the same time, I've had that much shit happen to me and I've had that many people stab me in the back, then, it's understandable that I'd be a little bit paranoid here and there. So I want to talk about stuff going on with Rockstar Games at the moment. Rockstar Games, I think they're in a little bit of trouble. From the looks of it, they've sacked off a load of the staff, 30 plus staff, for in quote unquote gross misconduct as they were trying to unionize. Now I don't understand how it all works, but from what I've been told, and I could be wrong, when a group of people in an organization gets so big, there's a certain number, I think it'll be like 200 odd, for example, right? It has to be recognized by Rockstar. So, like, if they're trying to unionize together, Rockstar have to recognize them, right? Apparently, just as they got to the number where Rockstar would have to recognize them, that's when they suddenly decided to sack off a bunch of their staff, which has left a lot of people thinking, what's going on? Why has it happened then? But at the same time, Rockstar turned around and says, oh, well, they want to try to protect themselves. They said that they're trying to stop people from leaking information. And I don't know who to believe. But regardless, though, something's a bit suspicious. Someone's not telling the full story. So the UK Independent Workers Union of Great Britain claims that Rockstar are trying to bust the union, but Rockstar is denying that. Because of everything that's gone on, right? Because of all this has gone on, GTA 6 has been pushed back again until, November 26, which is like a year away. Now, I don't mind when games get delayed. Obviously, it's a little bit disappointing, but, initially when I first heard, GTA 6 is getting delayed, I thought, great. It means there's something going on with the game, and they've decided they need some more time to work on it, because the more time they work on it, the better the game will be, in theory. It means they get it right. But when I find out that they've delayed the game because they've sacked off a load of staff, it's not a great start for GTA 6, is it? And it hasn't even came out yet. Speaking of games, though, Palworld versus Nintendo. Now, if you don't know what Palworld is this... how to explain it? It's basically Pokemon, but with guns. It's fun. It's what a Pokemon game should be, really, but obviously with minus the guns. The art style for Palworld and a lot of the mechanics for Palworld is very similar to Nintendo, like some of the pals compared to Pokemon. You'd think they're in the same universe, just with the way they're drawn and all that. And then I believe Palworld used to also have a ball throwing mechanic where you throw a ball at a pal and it would capture the pal, just like a Pokeball and Pokemon. I believe, though, since then that has been changed, but still, Nintendo decided to then sue Palworld over, what was it, the mechanic where you summon a monster to battle on your behalf. Now, I'm sorry, but how many games are there where you summon a monster to battle on your behalf? Yu-Gi-Oh? Digimon? Final Fantasy? Loads of games. The list is endless. You can list off probably hundreds of thousands of games which are like that. But no. Nintendo turned around and said, we own that mechanic. No one else can. Well, recently, Nintendo's patent was rejected by the Japanese Patent Office for lack of originality, which is a massive blow to Nintendo's case. Does that mean now, finally, Nintendo's losing its grip on all these different patents that they put on? Are people going to finally start sticking up to Nintendo? And I could be wrong. I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. I could be wrong about all this information. This is just a lot of information that I've read on the internet. So please, if there's anything that I've said and you know it to be wrong, please let me know in the comments. Last time when I was talking about TwitchCon, I did make the mistake of I kept talking about Amsterdam Con, and it wasn't in Amsterdam; it was in Rotterdam. So I do apologise about that. My take on the whole thing. I understand Nintendo needs to save their brand, needs to protect their brand. The Pokemon brand's a fantastic brand. You know, I really do enjoy Pokemon, but they don't do anything to help themselves. Like, I believe that they were going after people who were emulating their games. Now, okay, the newer games, I would totally get it. If you're going to emulate games on the Switch, Switch 2, etc., fair enough, right? But if I want to, like, play the original Pokemon games, and I'm talking about, like, red, blue, yellow, silver, gold, blah, 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 right? The ones from on the Game Boy Advance, I've got no way of playing them apart from playing them on the emulator. No way at all. How do you expect people to enjoy those games? Do you just not expect people to enjoy them at all? I want to enjoy them. I want to be able to play them. I just allow people to emulate games which are sold. That's what I would say. Unless you plan on releasing those games. If they brought out Pokemon on the Switch 2, like a pack where it's like, okay, you buy this, and in this pack you get like 10 old Pokemon games. People would buy that. People would buy that so fast. But they haven't done that. It's really upsetting, isn't it, Mick? Yes, it is. That's just my take on it anyway. Who am I to know? I wanted to give you guys some advice. Now, a lot of you guys want to become like content creators, YouTubers, streamers, TikTokers, etc., you know. And I just thought, right, I haven't got millions and millions of followers, but I do believe I have enough experience out there to sit here and give you guys some good advice. If you'd listen to it, if you'd want it, continue watching. I'm about to give you some content creator advice. If you've got another job on the go, obviously being a content creator is going to be that much more difficult because you've got to balance your content creator life with say a personal life and, you know, a job, because you need to make money. Being a content creator, you can't just turn the camera on, live stream, and expect to make lots of money, because it doesn't happen for me. Content creation, you've got to build your community, and building a community can take a long time. It's not going to happen in 1 or 2 streams. Content creation, as a streamer, which is what I do, content creation can take months or years. I was streaming on and off for about 3 years. I decided to take it a bit more seriously last year. And, you know, still now I am building my community. I'm at the point now where I've got a decent sized community, and I talk to a lot of my followers on a daily basis. I'm always in my Discord, and I'm always in the voice chats, and I'm talking to them. But yeah, if you stream, if you have like, say if you stream 4 or 5 times and you're still on like 1 or 2 viewers, don't worry about it. Don't let that put you off. What you should do, you should stream for fun, and that's it. Stream for fun. Don't put yourself under too much pressure. Because once you put yourself under too much pressure, you're not going to have fun with it. And it's going to show that on camera. And if you're not using a camera, it's going to show that on the gameplay and your voice. And the thing is, as well, you don't want loads of people in on your stream, on your first, like, 1 or 2 streams, do you? Because you want to make mistakes and you want to learn as you go. And that's the great thing about being a content creator, is that you grow as you learn. Yeah. So when I first started streaming, I was very lucky when I first started streaming, because I had a following on TikTok before I streamed on Twitch or YouTube. Yeah. I just I made a couple of videos on TikTok, and a couple of them went viral. So I used that to my advantage, basically. So I got like affiliate within a week. It was great, you know, but not everyone's going to be that lucky. I want you to know You know, don't give up, right? And consistency is key on and Twitch especially, not TikTok though. You can stream at any time on TikTok, anytime, and people will pop in. At Twitch though, you do need to be consistent because people will on TikTok. People are always on the app, and as you're scrolling, your stream will pop up. So there's always people coming in. On Twitch, people have to be told to go to Twitch to find you, usually. Whether it be in your Discord, your social medias, whether you make a story on your TikTok saying, I'm going to be live in like 5 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, tip number 1, your community is not going to build overnight. Tip number 2, consistency is key on Twitch. Tip number 3, learn to talk to yourself. I've seen so many streamers out there that'll have like no viewers in, because I sit in I just want to watch what people are doing, and I'll sit and I'll watch people streaming, and now I'm wondering, okay, why have they got no one watching? And I know why within the first few seconds, because I've popped in and nothing's been said. It's just silence. And then I'll continue watching, going, oh, maybe he's just giving himself a moment, because I'll have moments where I'm not saying anything, I'm concentrating on the game. Nah, nothing's been said. It's been 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then half an hour, and then I'm like, yeah, you know what? Nothing's been said at all. Just absolute dead silence. You need to learn to talk to yourself. Even if it's like, if you've got no one to talk to, right? Just explain what you're doing. If you've got if you've got no viewers, still do it. Because if someone pops into your chat and sees that you're not saying anything, then why would they stay? By the time you see that viewer count go up from 0 to 1, they've gone already. You've lost their attention. So learn to talk to yourself. Learning to talk to yourself is probably one of the things that make or break somebody as a content creator. Because if you cannot talk to yourself, you're not going to stay on this platform as a good streamer. But once again, not everyone streams to be a content creator. Some people just stream because they think, oh well, I'm going to play a game and I'm just going to press the go live button because I feel like it. If you want to do that, that's totally fine. But this advice is for those who want to take it a bit more seriously. Yeah. I can't remember what tip we're on. Tip number 69. Tip number 69. I don't know where we're up to. The quality of your camera isn't important, right? People always go, oh, my camera's rubbish. My camera's quality is really bad. I need to buy a better camera. No, you don't. 99% of the time, right? It's not your camera. It's your lighting. I want to turn my cameras off now. Now, how much worse does this look? It looks rubbish, doesn't it? But then when I turn it on, that looks so much better. Though the background needs working on. I have a lot to do. I'm sorry. But do you understand what I'm saying, though? The lighting in a room makes all the difference, right? And you only need... Well, I have 3 lights. Go on. And ideally I'll have 3 lights. I have my big studio light, which lights all of me. Okay? I then have a purple light here, as you can see, this here. This just puts like a nice colour on my face, It just makes it look nice, rather than just plain, because I hate plain. But that's just preference. Then there's a light behind me, which gives me a bit of depth where you can easily identify me from the background. Does that make sense? I'm not like a lighting expert, and I'm not really good at explaining things. I probably should have left this out, to be fair, but lighting is important. Have a mess around, get different lights, neon lights. You can get lights for very cheap on the internet. And yeah, just mess around with it. Have fun with it. Find out what works best for you, because I know if you've got a very tiny space, the lighting situation isn't the best. But I promise you, if you think hard enough, and you're clever enough with it, you'll figure out where to put your lighting. And you don't have to spend an absolute fortune on lighting either. Another piece of advice I would like to give, and this is a very, very important piece of advice. Don't be afraid to ban people. Don't be afraid to remove people from your community. If they're not breaking any rules, but they're just being a creep, someone you don't like, remove them. Give them a fair warning, but remove them. If they're not fitting your vibe, they might be there to troll. But there's been loads of times where I went into someone's stream and I've basically effectively been chased away because there's been people in that chat which are just weird, and they're the kind of like for example, we had someone and they thought they were being funny and they were spamming NIG, being racist, and the streamer did nothing at all. I don't think he knew what to do because he was like, he's not saying the word, but I was just like, just ban him, like that's his intention. He's intending to be racist. Just because he's not saying the word, the intent's there, So he's not there to be good. He's not there to be nice. He's there to be nasty. But yeah, it's people like that to stay away from, because if you don't want to protect your community, because your community is everything, without the community, the stream is nothing, So you have to protect your viewers, whether it remains removing some, so everyone else can have a nicer time. Sometimes viewers fall out, and this is where the problems start, because if some viewers fall out with each other, right, I'll always watch it, okay? Because, say, for example, I could have both in the chat, and if I know they're not talking to each other, right, I'll not say anything, because usually they'll just ignore each other, which is fine. If they ignore each other and they're not talking to each other and they're actually just ignoring each other because they don't get along, that's great. But that doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you get people being childish and make some snarky comments to each other. You've got to put a zip on that straight away. Whether it be, your top donator, if something's said and you don't agree with it and it's toward another member of your community, you need to put that foot down, because otherwise you're going to lose other viewers. And other people are going to see that you let things like that slide. It's not good. I'm not talking about like a specific situation. I'm just saying like that could happen. Though I have seen that happen several times. And another thing as well, another bit of advice here: don't be afraid to try new games. One of the best games I have played for viewership is Santris. Now, a lot of you may know me from Santris. A lot of you may know me from other games, but Santris, I'll stream Santris on TikTok, and I'll get 400 to 500 viewers peak. It's ridiculous, and you know what? It's never a game I would play, ever. Not on stream, anyway. Not in my lifetime. I just thought, you know what? I'm bored. I'm just going to play this on stream. I'm just going to try it. And like before, I'd get like 1 or 2 views on TikTok. And then I played that and it just whoop. I think I reached the highest I've ever gotten with Santris was 2,500 viewers. It was mental. So never be afraid to try out new games. But don't try out too many games. Like, you do want to have like your set few that you enjoy, because your viewers will come back. Say if I play Minecraft and I get like 50 people in, then those people, say 25 of those 50 people might only want to watch you for Minecraft. So I don't know. I think it's more preference on that end, but at the same time, I like to go back. It's like I like to go and play Minecraft because we can play that as a community. We can play that together. I personally like to play a lot of community games, especially when you're building a community, because it just gets people involved, So yeah, never be afraid to try new games, because like me playing Santris has just changed my whole aspect on things, Also, don't take anything I say as gospel. This is just stuff that I've learned. I could have I could be wrong in many aspects, you know. Also, I would like to suggest as well, don't try and stream a game just because everyone else is streaming it. Like, for instance, Call of Duty. When Call of Duty was popular and everyone was doing Warzone, everyone was doing Warzone. You know, to get discovered, if someone wants to find you by playing Warzone, to get discovered playing that, it's like spitting in the ocean, you know, and then you got to try and find your spit. It's not going to happen, you know. It's the more popular a game is, the harder it is to be discovered on it. You have to be, I think, to play a popular game and do well, you have to already be well established as a streamer. You've already got to have that community, because you're not going to get many new people in unless you're hitting near the top of that board. And as we all found out recently, you weren't hitting the top of that board unless you were buying viewers on Twitch. Like, I've hit the top of the board a few times, and I've been very lucky, but it's when I've been playing stuff like Gartic Phone and Among Us. Games that aren't so popular anymore, but I'll still play. I love Among Us. It's frustrating it is when you guys kill me, because you always pick on me. I'd still love playing it. And, yeah, it's just one of those things. Gartic Phone's a great game, but it's just one of those things. Also, another piece of advice as well, please be careful of creator burnout as well. Being a content creator, it's not just about clicking on the go live button, right, and streaming. I plan my streams out. There's a lot of planning that goes involved into these streams. Another bit of advice as well, you know, if you struggle to find out what to talk about, just ask your viewers some questions. I mean, what I like to do, I like to say stuff like, you know, what have you guys done today? What have you guys gotten up to over the weekend? Because I think people get up to lots of things over the weekend, you know. You know, someone tell me a funny story. I like, you can even turn around and say, you know, give us your best joke or your worst jokes, you know. Ask your viewers, you know, make me laugh. Don't just make it a normal stream. You could turn around and say, every time a viewer makes a joke and I laugh, I have to do something. I have to do a handstand, or, you know, just make it funny and interesting. Make it different. Stand out from everyone else. You know, like something like that also gives like people an opportunity to talk and smile, and gets everything going. You know. Also, this is just a personal preference, but don't be afraid to utilize artificial intelligence into your stream stuff. I like to use AI to help me with titles, because I'm terrible at titles. I don't get it to write them for me. I'll get them to like give me a couple of ideas, and then I'll go, oh, I like that, but I'll change it. And then, you know, I use it as a tool. Another piece of advice as well, if you run out of ideas, don't be afraid to look at your friends or look at other content creators and just see what they're doing. There's no such thing as an original idea anymore. I wouldn't say completely rip off someone's idea. So let's say Ludwig, for example. Ludwig, right, is someone I like to go to for ideas. Ludwig has some fantastic ideas. See, beating hardest Minecraft challenge, speedrunning dispatch. You know, he's doing a lot of different things, but like, you know, if I need some inspiration, I'll go have a look. And, you know, some of them are good, some of them are bad. But it'll give you some inspiration. Finally, I want to talk about something that was a bit more personal that happened to me recently. I don't know if I should talk about this, to be fair. I'm not going to mention any names or any bars. I went out on a night out. I went to the gay scene. I really like to go to the gay scene. Like, I'm straight. I just really, I don't know. I feel like on a normal night out, I feel like in nightclubs and stuff, it can be quite dangerous, you know? There's always people that want to start fights, and they always get too drunk and they're a bit aggro. But whenever I go out on a gay night, you know, everyone's just fun, you know, the music's great, music's fun, you know, I really enjoy it. But anyway, the one problem I've had, and this is not the first time it's happened, I was stood in the smoking area on the phone to my friend on FaceTime, and this person came over and started rubbing between my legs, my private parts. You know, I'm trying not to say what it is, but they were touching there. Yeah. Now, I'm sorry, right? But in what world is this appropriate, right? I'm in the smoking area. I was like the only one there. You know, it's not like it was a busy smoking area. I was like the only one within like 4 or 5 arms lengths, and this came over and started like, you know. I said to my friend in the VC in the voice chat, I said, I'm gonna have to go. I'll be right back. So I ended the phone call, and I turned around. I said, "What are you doing?" I went, "Oh, but I like Big Daddy boys." I'm like, I'm sorry, love, but like, in no way this is fucking appropriate. If I as a bloke, if I went and done that to a lass, right, there would be hell on. It would be the end of the world, right? But you know, you can come up to me and do that, and you think everything's fine. Bear in mind, this is not the only time it's happened. I'll walk through gay bars and I get my arse spanked, I get my arse pinched. You know, people rubbing up against us in the wrong way, and it's not on the dance floors either. I mean, like, you know, people are having a bit of fun on the dance floor, fair enough, you know, but like, you know, they're like honestly like getting a good grab, and then they're like sniffing the back of my neck and all that. And it's like holy shit, like this is proper predatory. And it's starting to ruin my experience going to these bars. I don't want to stop going because, you know, it's my way to get out and socialize. But at the same time, like if this is going to continue to happen, I don't know if I can. And may I add as well, this is by no fault of the bars. I've spoken to a few people in the LGBTQ community, and they've all said to me that this is the norm everywhere you go. Everywhere. Like, it's part of the gay culture. I don't know, I just don't like it, man. It's whether it's gay culture or not, it just doesn't sit right with me, you know? Like, you're gonna come up to me, you're gonna start rubbing on my bits, and that's assault, isn't it? If I went up to a lass and started touching her between her legs, right? You'd get arrested, wouldn't you? Straight away, you'd get arrested. But I don't know. It really, it rubbed me in the wrong way. I don't know if that was the right words to use. But yeah, it doesn't matter if you came up to me, if I was in the smoking area, right? If you were a man, a woman, trans, anything, right? I don't care what you identify as, right? I couldn't give two shits what you identify as. If you come up to me and try and touch me there, right? I'm going to tell you, that's not fucking right. I hope some of this podcast has been a bit interesting. The subjects have been all over today, I know. I know last time we did a podcast, I don't know, I wasn't too happy about the last podcast. I was ill. I had conflu, and I don't know, I just didn't feel like I prepared enough. But I prepared plenty tonight, you know. I feel like I've done a good job today. But I'm enjoying it, and that's the thing. Like, I'll continue to say I enjoy doing this podcast because I can talk and vent about how I feel, whether it be something happening in the news, something happening in my personal life, or whether you guys need some advice. You know, I like to, you know, I just like to talk. If you watch my live streams, you know I like to talk. I talk for England. I was talking to a taxi driver not long ago, and I was saying to him, like, "Hey mate, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll just talk for England." He went, "Mate, I know I've taken you loads. You've been in my taxi loads of times, and you don't shut up." I just like to talk. It's one of those things. I hate the sound of my own voice, but I like to talk. I hate silence. I think that's what it is. Don't forget to check out the new merch, guys. Parkenev merch in the merch store. I'll put a link in the description. If you don't know what it is, go to parkenev.com or merch.parkenev.com. That'll take you directly to my merch store. We've got this cap. We've got this. And I'm going to show you the back, actually. Look at this. This merch is only available while the subathon is going on, so get it while you can. You've got plenty of time, but like, you know, it helps support me, and it helps support the podcast, and it helps support the streams. Everything I do buying the merch helps support me. And when you guys wear it and you tell me about it, I can't believe it. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you've never been here before and you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe. If you don't like this podcast, though, subscribe anyway, because you feel sorry for me, and I really would like to get more subscribers or followers on wherever platform you're watching this. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care. Peace.